Hello my friends, this is Corrine from Corrine's Craft. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit bunged up. We've all got dreaded lurg in the house at the moment. And yes, I don't look too pleasant, so I'll just keep it focused on the card today. Now this is a really interesting one. It's Technique Tuesday today. We're going to be doing a reverse easel. So we're creating this effect. We're going to be making these gorgeous flowers, a lovely wreath around there with a little bit of a sentiment. I think this one is so pretty. You're going to be able to use whatever papers you've got, whatever flowers you've got, or you might not even want to do it with flowers, but you might want to just love the effect of the reverse easel. This is rectangle with a circle. You could have rectangle with a rectangle on the front, square, card base, however. I'm going to give you all the measurements that you need, but whatever I show you on here, you're going to be able to adapt it to whatever size works for you. So I think we should just jump straight into it and see how this is made. So because it's Tuesday and I often do a Technique Tuesday card today, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I thought I would do my technique as to how to make a certain shaped card. And the card we're going to make is a reverse easel. So you've all seen easel cards. So this is a reverse easel. So all I've done is I started with a card. This was for a 7-inch envelope, so it was about 6 3/4 square, and I've trimmed it down. So it's now 6.5 inches that way by 5.5 inches that way, and it's just a basic card shape. So all I've done then is I brought my scoreboard in. Oh, you can see that. And then I have, because it's 6.5, I found the halfway point, which is 3 1/4, and I've just scored down there. So you can see, if I bring that out, I have got 3 panels, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 6.5. See, there's lots of things you could do. You could be doing a fold back card. We're going to be doing the twisted easel. You could do a zigzag card. Oh, might do one of those soon. So yeah, there's lots of different shapes that you can do. So basically, score it down the middle and fold it back on itself. So we've got this look, and that's how we're going to make our reverse easel. So all I've done is use some papers. Now gosh, it's so long since on this channel I have actually used pattern papers, but that's what I've done. So I've gone, if it was 5.5 by 6.5, I've gone about 5 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then a little bit smaller for the paper. The pink paper is just from a linen card pack. It was a 12 by 12 sheet, just because I knew I wasn't going to get everything out of A4. And the decorative paper is from Say It With Flowers. So I've purposely picked this bit because I want this bit to show at the bottom. Now, you often find sometimes when you do this, best will in the world, you end up with a smaller border at the top, but that really isn't going to matter because no one is going to see it. Make sure your borders at the side and the bottom match up. Don't worry about the top. The top will take care of itself. And I'm sitting on my cloth. There we go. I'll go like that. There we are. I just must apologise right now if I go a little bit croaky. Our house is so full of germs at the moment. We are all really struggling. So I'll do the best I can. But if I have to cut the film to go and have a sneeze or use a tissue, then I apologise. Right, okay, so we've got this bit here. Then I've got 2 pieces here. So what I want to do now is I want to bring this piece so that it comes across there. I don't want it to go that way up, it goes that way. But actually, what you'll find is this piece did seem to go, I think it was like that. I can't remember how it went, but that seemed to flow from, did that flow from there? And then this one went at the top. It was all cut out of one piece, more or less. So I want this one at the top. So I'm going to pop that one there. So this is the main bits you're going to see. Now, if you are struggling with cardstock and you want to be a little bit more frugal, then you could potentially do these 2 panels with your decorative papers. Now, again, all the decorative papers that I have made on previous tutorials, you could create yourselves and use those if you wanted. Now, can I just say, when I did this, I cut my I cut my 12-inch cardstock in a long strip by 5 1/4 wide. So that meant that I knew that when I put these together, they were going to match, because that to me is really important. I can see the glue. I just need to spread that glue around. There we go. Right. Okay. And then I'm going to open it out. Now, if you want to be frugal, this is going to sit like that. This bit is the least visible bit. If you needed to omit a piece of decorative paper, that is the one you would miss it from, if that makes sense. Miss it from? Omit it from, I think is probably a better word. So yes, we can put that on. Now, what I seem to be forgetting to do is get the glue right to the corners. So that one's going to go onto here. And again, like I say, it was all done together to make sure everything matched perfectly. But like I say, this is the least visible. There we go. Right, so that is my card base, and as per usual, I'm going to get my block and I'm going to move that to one side and put something weighty on it. So the next thing I have got is I've cut a circle out of the pink. Now that is, I'm trying to remember what I did. So what I did was, when I was looking, there was a bit left over of the 12 by 12 sheet. So I picked a bit that wasn't as patterned. So it's really sort of focusing on the other colour. So I've picked that really on purpose. So that's going to go just there. So they're just 2 nesting circles. Now you could be doing any shape. If you don't have nesting circles, then you could just do this as a square, 2 consecutive size squares. Just cut it on your guillotine and that would work perfectly as well. And then I'm going to show you, just while that other bit's just setting a little bit more, the other bits that I've cut. I have cut another white circle and that's going to go on here, and I have just popped a little bit of foam tape. Now it's only my 2mm foam tape. It's my shallowest foam tape. I just want to lift it up very gently. I don't want much, but I didn't want it to be flat. The whole point is I want this to be raised. Now the reason I've done this is because we're going to build a floral arrangement on here. Now if I put it straight on there, I think we're going to lose it a bit because of all the patterns. So all we're going to do is we're going to pop that on there like that. So that's just going to give me something to work on. And then I need some foam tape. Now I haven't quite decided what depth I'm going to find. Right, I'm going to find my middle depth. So you've seen, we're going to be using this, which is my 5mm. You've seen my roll from Sticks 2, which is like my 2mm. No, we're not going to use either of those. We're going to use the one in the middle for this. So I'm going to cut a strip off, and then we're going to bring the card base back in because we need that now. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick this onto here, and that's going, actually I could have actually got away with a white circle. I think I need a white circle there, don't I? I am going to just stop and cut a white circle because that's blending in. Bear with me and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and all I've done is I've taken the next size in my nesting circles and I've cut a white circle, because when I put that on there, look, that pops so much better. I think I must have thought about it at one point. I think I thought about doing a white and then a coloured, and then I just did the coloured, and then I don't know, it just changed. It changes all the time. So yes, so I've just changed it up a little bit, but now it needs that white bit underneath. So let's just get my cloth and make sure that's on. Also, it'll make it fractionally bigger, because once I just put it on the card then I thought that's not big enough, so now it's fractionally bigger. There we go, I'm just pressing around there. So there we go, we've now got the white, pink, patterned, and then white. You know, I tell you, it evolves all the time. So this is going to need to go onto here, and I want that to pop onto there. So this is where you've got to be careful where you put your tape. So that's going to go like that. So one thing you could do is you could turn it over and you could grab a pencil, and I could just draw a line like that, and then that's the side I want the tape on. So I know that I don't want any tape below that line. So I'm going to get that piece of tape that I cut a few minutes ago, and I'm going to pop a piece on there. Sometimes it's just easy to be really visual and put marks on and do things like that, because then you know you've got it right. Because the last thing you need is tape down here, because then the whole card is going to stick together, and it's not going to be an easel. It's just going to be, I don't know what it will be. It'll just be a big solid lot of card. So yeah, so just think it through sometimes and just add on those extra details. So I'm going to bring this back in. Let's pop some wet glue on here, because that allows me to control it. and then we go back to where we wanted it to be, and we're going to pop that just onto here, just like that. There we go, just like that. There we go. Now I'm not happy. Now I've just done that, I'm thinking that doesn't look centered, so I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to center it on the card base and make sure my tape's not visible. No, look, my tape is just inside there, so we're good to go. There we are, all good. There we are. Right, okay, so now we have got this reverse easel. We're going to put a stopper here, but we're not going to do that for a minute. At the moment it all sits nice and flat. So what I've done is, I don't know if you remember, a couple of videos, fair few videos back, I showed you this Thinlit one from Sizzix. Really love this. It's got this wreath. So using this wreath die, I have cut the wreath out in 3 different greens, and now you can see that that is how I then picked the size of that white one to go on there. I just wanted it to be a little bit smaller, so I've got this wreath in 3 different greens. So let's bring in my precision glue gun, and there we go. We can put that onto there. So I've got all 3 of my wreaths like that. Now this would work with just one, and I can't work, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the edge there, because it's all about gluing in the right bit. So just put a few dots there. It doesn't matter which order you put these on, and then I'm just going to pop that, the first one, on there. Right, so it's missed a bit of the glue, but don't worry, I can sort that out. So it's just going to catch it like that, so you can see it's caught it in different bits because it's not a perfect circle. So my next one, I'm just going to glue on the inner circle of the wreath, and we're going to put this on. Oops. And look how great this precision glue gun is for that. Then we can put this one on, and I'm just going to sort of not put it on exactly right, but just sort of like that, so that they are all visible. And then the third one, and again, all of this, I can tell you, apart from the card base card, the pink and the pattern, everything else has come out of bits from my scrapbox. I just keep all the bits, even these greens, they were just bits that were dropped in there. I've not cut into any new sheets at all. Okay, so what we've got now is we've got the 3 wreaths on there. So I know you can't see them individually, but you get that feel of dimension, don't you? So you can see, looking gorgeous. Okay, the next thing, I want to show you something that I've not really had out before. So I have these. Ooh, upside down. These are what I call melded dies. So what they are is, you can see lots and lots of die cuts. I can't even remember how many there are. There's about 30-40 die cuts on there in one piece of metal. Lots of brands do them. These were the Fleurs ones. 2 different sorts of leaves. Don't worry, the other 2 dies out of there missing. And you've also got flowers like that, and I thought I had another one of flowers. But what I tended to do when I was demonstrating was I would cut the whole sheet out, then I would drop them into this box like this. So now if I ever want quickly some small flowers, I've got them out of mulberry paper, I've got them out of felt, I've got them out of foam, I've got them out of fabric, I've got them out of craft metal, craft card, all different colours, lots in there. So that will, I mean, I could just craft with that for weeks and weeks and not get to the bottom of that, couldn't I? So yeah, lots of really useful ones. So what I have done is, I want to show you on here, is I have just cut 2 of those out of the same green. Look at that, they all just cut out just like that. There we go, onto there. I just wanted to leave them on this cutting plate so that I could get them quickly when I needed them. There we go. So there they all are. Can you see them all on there? So like I say, 2 dies. Oh look, there's some more on there. 2 dies, but dozens and dozens of die cuts. So yes, so sometimes manufacturers talk about the number of dies. So this would be 2 dies. Sometimes it's the number of die cuts. So yeah, you just have to look at what you're buying. So I've got those. And what I also found out of that box, I'm going to put them all on here, is I had some leaves. Now they're not white, they are green. These are a bit bigger. So, but I think they could be equally as useful. So what I'm going to do, how am I going to do this? I'm trying to think, right, I've got my craft mat. What I'm going to do, put that on my craft mat like that. We're getting a lot of stuff here, aren't we? And I'm going to pop a nice big blob of glue. It has to be big, otherwise it'll just dry. And I don't want that, I want this. And then I'm just going to get some of these leaves. I'm going to pick them up and I'm just going to tuck them in. I think I want my squeezy tweezers. I think I'll find it easier. So we can just pick them up and then tuck them in. And I'm just going to work all the way around there. I'm only going to do about half of this, and I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm probably going to stop talking now for a minute. I know that's quite hard to believe. And then I can fast forward this bit because you don't need to see me sticking every single leaf in. So I'll be right back in a minute. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for a minute, but I'm not finished by any means. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add some flowers. And I have made a few. I have made a lovely pink one. I've made a couple of yellow ones. 1, 2, there we go. And I've also made, I think I've made 8. I think it was. I've still got 8 on here. That's 4, 5. Oh, I can only see 7. One's going to appear in a minute of those. Now these little ones came from out of here. So they were just this small little die out of this Sizzix wreath. The other ones, I'll show you, have come from this mix of dies. And what I've also got is I've got these ones. And I'm going to show you how I turned those into some pretty flowers. So let's just move that out of the way. And then I can show you how I make the flowers out of these. So let's move those out of the way. So I've just cut this one twice. There we go, you can see. And then all I'm going to do is turn it over. And I'm going to get my bottle. Now this is quite a thick cardstock. So I can be quite, ruthless with that. But I'm just going to do, if I turn that one over, yeah. Before I go too far, I've just missed a bit out. I've just started to soften those. What I've also got is, I've got my spring meadow. Now, do you remember all my little brushes that I bought? Yep, I've just kept one for green. And all I'm going to do is just bring that up there, like that. Just to the centre, just to give it a little bit of colour. But don't be afraid to go out a bit, because you can go quite a way out. So that's going to go like that. Put the brush away, and then I can start to shape these. Sometimes you have to go in a couple of times. When you do that, you sometimes find that that bit sort of flattens down. There we go. And then like that. Then all you do is a tiny little bit of glue in the centre, and then stagger them. Once you're happy that they're staggered, ball tool in there and press. And I always sort of cup up the top ones and just hold it for that few seconds while that tacky glue holds, and that's your flower. Then all I've done for this one is put a lovely little centre in and a little bit of tonic Nouveau drops. So there we are, we've got that. Okay, so let's bring the card back and see where we're at. So this is why I wanted some of these larger leaves, because I think these will look quite nice. And we've got some of those ones. Oh, I've got that one. I don't know how many I'm going to need, so I'm just going to bring in a few. Okay, Right, so let's start at the front. Now this is where I'm going to change glues. I'm going to come in now with some 3D glue, and I'm going to put that on the back of here, and I'm going to pop that on there. So I'm just going to bring it into the circle. You can break that circle if you want. Now the great thing about using 3D glue is straight away I've put that on, and then I've suddenly decided that I want it to actually come down a little bit, so I can move things when it's 3D glue. Yeah, you can't see much of the wreath, but I'll be able to see it around that side. Then I've got my yellow one. Now do you see how when I put flowers on, I always try and push them up really close to each other. It's just how I tend to do them. So we can put that one on. Isn't that looking lovely? Really, really pretty. And then I want to use these lovely little ones. So all I'm going to do then is I'm going to get those, dip those in the back of here, and then I can pop them on. And they're going to look lovely. Right, I'm not going to put them all on. I'm just going to put a few on for a minute because I need to do something before I go too far with these. These look beautiful. Right, so the other thing I've done is I've just made myself a little sentiment. It's time to celebrate, and I want to put that on here. So I just need to, let's just get these off here a minute. There, 1, 2. I'm annoyed that I've lost one already. I'm always doing this. Found it. Found it. It was just on my desk. There we go. Right. Okay, so got my time to celebrate. I'm going to pop some 3D glue on. I'm going to sort of put it on one end more than the other so that it can come over here. So that's going to come over like that. So now I'm not wasting any flowers by putting them underneath, am I? They're all going to be visible. So we can put one on there. We can bring one down here. And then I could perhaps get these two and pop them just inside there. Then I'm just going to get this foliage, oh dear, and pop those in here. See, I think it definitely needed the bigger foliage than that small foliage like that. When you've got ones like this, you can just give them a little squidge as well. Can you see how it brings it to life? And I love that I've got lots of different shapes and sizes. It really helps as well. So we can then... you'll notice if you watch me make cards with flowers on, I always put foliage on after, or most of the time, after I've done my flowers, because I just find it helps with the positioning, because you never know where to put it when you've not put your flowers on. So yeah, so I just find put your flowers on and then slide it in. It just is, for me personally, it's the better way. You'll find the way that works for you, but that works for me. There we go. I think that should do. So let's put the, oh, my 3D glue is keeping on flowing. There we go. We are nearly there. We are so nearly there. Let's get rid of that 3D glue. Right, okay, so we've got this. I just need to come in to the centre of there. I was touching it to see if it was dry, and clearly it wasn't. There you go. You can tell I'm unwell. I just filmed the very last bit of this without actually turning the video on. So all I have done is I have taken a stopper. I've just taken a little piece of card, and this was just an offcut of card. I put my 5mm tape on the back, and I've just attached a little bow. And the way I always do it is when I'm making a card, an easel card, I always let the card, see, that feels too high. You can feel where the stopper needs to go. You can feel where the card sits naturally. So that's going to sit like that. I need to put it down because that Nuvo Drops is running. So this is my card, a reverse easel. I want to show you how it looks. So from the side, you can see the easel is reversed. Normally this piece comes forward, but not on this one. It's a reverse easel. And the great thing is, as you can see there, it's going to fit lovely in a box that's 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches. I'd probably put a 1 inch height on it. And as I keep promising, I will do some tutorials on how to box cards up and to also make things like your inserts and everything, and this one would probably be a really good one to show you on because it's a little bit different. So yeah, I'll probably do that within the next week or so. So I hope you like that. I wanted to show you for our Technique Tuesday how to make a reverse easel card. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. I hope you like it. Adapted it as we went along, didn't we, and just made sure it worked for us today. But I love the little purple flowers and that really nice pop of flowers on there. So yeah, lovely. You could be putting extra sentiments down here on the stopper if you wanted. It's entirely up to you. I need to just keep making sure my Nuvo drops are in the right place. There we go. I hope you like that. If you do, please leave me a comment, and if you are inspired to have a go, then I would love to see your makes. As always, there's going to be links down in the description down at the bottom to lots of bits that I have been using, and if you can click on those, it really helps me with my channel, especially if you are able to click on my Buy Me a Coffee page, because that really helps to keep the channel going. So until next time, thank you for watching this Technique Tuesday on how to make a reverse easel card, and I will be back very soon, hopefully not as snuffly and as bunged up as I am today, with our next tutorial. So until then, my friends, please take care, enjoy your crafting, and have an absolutely fantastic week. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.